Here we're looking at the brush types that we have. The two on the left are called flat brushes because they have a flat top. The one that is third from the left is a filbert, and it has kind of a rounded point. A filbert is really good to use for blending or to create a soft edge. And to the right, we have a round brush, which is good for a very skinny line. You can also make a thicker line with it too, depending on how you put your paint brush down on the paper. One of the easiest ways to start this assignment is just to use the colors as they are the moment they come out of the tube. So you can lay out your palette on the table and just go for the pure version of the color. So you can see I'm putting down 2 strokes of yellow light. And then once I put down those 2 strokes, I can't use yellow light again, ever, unless I mix it with something. I just put 2 more strokes, but this time it's yellow medium. And now I've added a little bit of red to the yellow medium, so 2 strokes of one color, and then you can no longer use that color unless you change it by adding another color to it. So you want to just make sure of that rule, 2 strokes of one color, and then you're done with that color. Think about all the different ways you can hold your brush. You really want to hold towards the back handle of that brush, either on that black stripe or on that kind of turquoise end of that brush. Think about how you can twist your mark and how you could drag it either sideways, you could pull up, you could pull down, or you can pull diagonally or curved. It's a good idea for this exercise to use all your brushes and to assign your brushes specific colors. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a moment. All right, so here's my brush that I have for yellow there on the end, and that yellow brush I also use to mix my oranges. The one in the middle is a red, and I use that both for mixing all the reds, but also to mix like red violet or violets eventually. And then the one on the far right, that's my blue brush, but I'm also using that to mix greens. So I start off with the pure color or the primary color, and then I start to go into secondary and tertiary colors. Here's what it looks like from the side view, so you can see how far back I'm holding that brush, and I am both pulling down and pulling up. I twist the brush at times. Make sure that your marks are short. They should be 1.5 inches or less. It's good to get some that are smaller than that. And try when you're doing your marks, try doing some that are skinny and some that are wide. If you take the side of the brush, it'll make a skinnier mark. Also, attempt to make a mark that is thick on the top, skinny as it goes down, or vice versa. So it's not just making one predictable mark over and over again, all vertical or something like that. You actually want to practice your curve, you want to practice doing an angle and using the side and the flat side of the brush as well. And keep in mind, you're holding it back. You can do it like a little dot. Also, it's really important that you do one stroke lift, that you're not continuing to pet the canvas with your brush. You're just doing one quick stroke, even if it doesn't lay down a whole lot of paint, even if it looks kind of funny. Don't try and correct it, just one stroke, and then you're out of there. Again, you want to think about variety when you're doing this, so variety in terms of your stroke. So they shouldn't all be going one way. Curve those lines. Try doing a quick one where you just get in there, dart out. So it's more of like a flick, like you're pretending that you're holding a wand rather than a paintbrush, and you just get in, get out, and then leave it alone. So even if it's not a perfect mark, who cares? We're not making something representational today. Super important that you're making your marks short and that you're not using the same color more than twice. When you're getting your paint, it's important that you don't have water on your brush, or at least if you do, it's a bare minimum amount. So you always have to dry your brush off thoroughly after rinsing it in the water. It's one of the reasons why I highly suggest that you assign a color family to each of your brushes every day that you go to paint. That way you don't have to rinse your brush out every single time you dip it into the paint mixture. Here's something I wanted to show you. Because we have 2 versions of yellow, a light yellow, a warm yellow, we also have 2 versions of red, cad red and crimson, which is more towards a purple color. And then we also have 3 blues. We have cerulean blue, ultra blue, and phthalo blue. So I wanted to show you with this This is using yellow light and cerulean blue, and we're working on trying to make a blue, green, or a green. So here's what it looks like with cerulean. The one on the left is more yellow than blue, and then it gets progressively more and more blue as you go to the right. Here's what it's going to look like with yellow light and ultramarine blue. So same yellow, different blue. Here it is like the green version, and then it's going to get progressively more blue-green as we continue with the swatches. So that's more of a blue-green, and then even bluer for the last one. Now we're looking at yellow light and phthalo blue. So you can see this one's actually quite a bit different. The yellow light plus ultramarine almost created an earth tone. This one is more like neon. So you're seeing the first one has way more yellow, the second one has more blue, and then more blue increasingly as we move to the right. I'm also going to show you the tint version of that blue-green because it does look different when you add white to these colors. Made this chart for you just so you can compare the different combinations of yellow light plus the 3 blues we have. Now you could make even more colors if you switch the yellow and you switch that yellow for yellow medium and you add yellow medium plus ultra, yellow medium plus cerulean, yellow medium plus phthalo. So you'll get different combinations depending on what you mix. So that gives you 12 different colors if you're trying to come up with colors and struggling. That gives you 12 right there, but you could do it with the yellow medium and have an additional 12, so you have like 24 colors just with the blue greens.